Good evening and thanks for joining us. Welcome to Off Script on Lagos Television this Saturday. Off Script is a program designed to take you off the usual narration or off the usual script of issues and events happening around us in perhaps ways that is not usually traditional. We tend to, of course, be the platform that we stand solidly with traditional and social media. Welcome to the show. I am Aditola Kayode. Last week we talked about take-home assignments and children and the kinds of homework our children bring home, if it is intended for their age or their parents, so to speak. And we got interesting comments and suggestions about that, and we'll take a few of them on the show right now. Okay, this one says, I do not see anything bad in it and the volume of assignments. It will boost the child's memory and keep them in tune with their school activities. That's from Kolade Johnson in Ogun State. Thank you for sending that in. And another one, there's been quite a lot of emphasis on academic excellence than other areas, such as emotional intelligence and social interaction. I believe that very soon regulations will be enforced to ensure that academic progress should commensurate with psychological readiness. Murakinyo Gabriel from Ikorodu, thank you for sending that one in. This other one says, when a child is afraid of a teacher, the child cannot learn anything. And some teachers, due to the salary structure in private schools, have literally transferred their teaching duties to the parents. Notwithstanding, parents should also create a bonding time with their children. Kazim Uzman in Oshun, thank you for that. I guess you're talking about having that homework time, you know, for parents to bond with their children, because in some homes that is also lagging. Okay, thank you for this topic. This issue was extensively discussed between my wife and I earlier in the day on Saturday before the show. And my take, I do not have problems with the volume of assignments, but I seriously have problems with the type of assignments given. You can imagine a child given homework that I will need to rely on the internet to solve. Kunle Adewale from Oshodi. Thank you for that perspective. Thank you. You can also continue to keep the conversations on our social media platform. Of course, on this show, it's at Offscript LTV on our Twitter and Instagram handle, and Facebook Offscript LTV. And of course, Lagos Television at LTV Social, hashtag Offscript LTV is the handle. Today on the show, we'll be taking a look at another interesting topic, training the girl training the boys just like the girls. That's our topic today, and we'll talk more about it after we take this very, very short break. Please stay with us.
You're watching Off Script on Lagos Television. Doesn't have to end here. We can continue the conversations online.
Okay, we take a few reactions from Facebook posts. We have this post from Quadri Adelawo.
Script, it's all about you. You're watching Off Script on Lagos Television. Doesn't have to end here. We can continue the conversations online.
Okay, we take a few reactions from Facebook posts. We have this post from Quadri Adelawo.
It's all about you.
Well, thank you for staying tuned. You're still watching Off Script on Lagos Television. And today on the program, we'll be taking a look at training the boy just like the girl child. train the boy child just like the girl child. And there's been an intentionally attitude to raise children, especially the boy child, to help break the gender stereotypes in the society. It can also be a conscious way of realigning societal, traditional, and cultural norms that we have about these ways. And of course, there's been a whole lot of issues concerning that. And if people see this perspective, that's what we are trying to dissect on the show today. And we have two guests in house today. Segun Lawal is a youth counselor and a mentor. Of course, he's the president of Spirit of David. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right, Olubukola Obisonya is an educationist, a teenage coach, and of course the convener of the Train the Boys. Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Okay, is there really a need for us to discuss this? Are there issues that we need to dissect when it comes to training the girl or the boy child? Can I start from you?
Okay, yes. There are lots of issues that we need to discuss about raising the boy child just like the girl child. If we look at what is happening now, there's a lot of focus, and I think it's more of an unconscious act on focusing on the girl child more than the boy child, just because most parents, they have this belief that, oh, I want to raise this girl, I want her to be a good wife material, I want her to be able to get a good husband, and so most parents
and there are no attempts to make them get a good wife, husband material.
Yes, so they've shifted all their focus on the girl child, and unconsciously, this is affecting men, because the boys that they neglected, they are the ones that grow up to become men and husbands.
Do you share this view, or you have another perspective to it?
Well, I agree with her. I think there is a conscious way in which we raise our children, male and female, in Nigeria. I think we are also realizing that it's a bit of everything. It's a bit of our culture, it's a bit of our upbringing, in certain respects, even our religious beliefs, if you like.
Yes.
I don't think it is deliberately intended to cause some of the challenges it's causing now, but it is obvious that in some respects we are not raising them with basic values. We're not raising them properly, and it's becoming obvious. The young boys these days have a mentality, a sense of mentality that is not quite right. It's not helping us. In some respects, they've been neglected in certain things, sometimes even basic chores, basic respect and values. And so I'm not sure if it's male child, female child kind of thing, as opposed to even just some basic, proper family values for children.
Okay, but is this just a traditional thing?
Well, I think it's more of culture. Culture. Okay. And I think it's a misplacement of values too, because there are these values we are talking about. The parents, they ought to inculcate these values in these children from homes. But where this is lacking, and the society too sees those things to be right, that, oh, let's leave them, they are husbands. When they grow up, and they will just end up with somebody, so they just neglect. And
they will take care of them. How about taking care of themselves first before going on?
Thank you.
Yeah, you're right. It's an issue, because if you are raising ladies to be good wives in the future, and we do that consciously, we put them in the kitchen from a very early age.
Go and assist mommy.
Go and assist mommy.
And the boy is playing football.
Make sure the house is clean and the boy is outside.
And the boy is out there playing football.
We need to also raise the men to be responsible home leaders, to be priests of their homes, to be examples in the workplace, to be respectful and hardworking. And that means we need to make sure they're given chores, specific assignments, responsibilities, right from a very young age.
Okay, let me tell you that you can also be part of this discussion by going on to our Facebook page, Offscript LTV, Twitter handle, Offscript LTV, and of course, Instagram, Offscript LTV. You can also send your messages to 08055213149, 08055213149. We'll take your messages, WhatsApp or text messages, and later on we'll tell you the number to call in. Okay, well, I put this topic out on one of our social media platforms, and I got this response to, I'm trying to get okay, this one says it's one of my beliefs to too much emphasis on girl child training, neglecting the boys, and they grow up to be serial cheats, heartbreakers, and ego driven. And we hear
Yes, they
That's
grow.
a bit harsh.
well, but
Is
but-
that the
but I-
reality today?
well, if you take a look at well, discussing this same issue with some other people, and you hear things like, oh, the man is raised to open different doors, and when different keys can open the girl, that means she's a prostitute, and you're not saying the same thing to the boy.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I just think that it's important that we look at what's going on in society now. And recently, in a mentoring program we have for young people, we concluded that men also need to be raised with an understanding of their emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
You know, they
Sex
keep things
education.
in a lot. They keep things in because a man is not meant to cry.
Cry,
yes.
things like that.
And stuff like that. So there's a way we traditionally, you know, in a stereotyped way, raise young men, and they find it very hard to have the right outlets to be able to discuss their emotions, their frailties or their fears, because the impression is that they're not allowed to have such things. And when they bottle it in and there's no form of expression, then it leads to chaos, doesn't it? Because there's no way in which they can be open about their feelings. So we do have to look at society. We have to look at some of the things we were talking about earlier. What are the men doing? What are their roles? And what's happening with parenting in the house? Is there, like you said earlier, is there a deliberate, conscious effort to train my children in terms of values, but then to also train them in terms of the roles they'll play in society from a very early age?
Okay, well, it's not just about the emotional intelligence right now. It also has to do with the kinds of food they eat and what they need to eat. For
yes.
example, you can, if you have a boy child and a girl child, and you see the small plate of the girl, there's something small in there, and for the guy is, you know,
Just
as high as a
huge,
mountain.
yeah.
So,
That's what I discussed on my Facebook page last week. I talked about overfeeding the boys. You know, some parents just have this belief that, oh, the boy child needs a lot of energy to walk, to do this, and this is the boy you have not even trained to do any domestic chores, and then you just give him all the food, or you start eating. You understand? So there's a place of feeding the boys too. There are things that we need to do. We need to understand how we feed them too, because everything just boils down together.
But again, it's a function of, are we conscious of our health? You know, in England, they talk about 5 a day a lot, you know, getting your 5 meal supplements a day a lot. And here we just feel healthy is how much you just stuff the young boy with. And you've
Even
got
when
to,
the things are not healthy.
even when they're not healthy, we've got to
Just-
think about
just
health.
eat,
We've got to
eat,
introduce them to a consciousness of health, to a lifestyle of exercising, so that they live longer. They're not 30 and 40 and suffering, you know, all sorts of medical emergencies, as we're beginning to see happen. So this is a function of what we are raising them from the very beginning.
okay, I got another one, and this one says, our society today is littered with overburdened wives, mothers, sisters, and daughters.
Yep.
They are wearied and they are stressed and drained from having to fix themselves, and as well as fix an adult who ought to be fixing himself and also fixing things around the house.
Assistant.
We talked about this. It's unfortunate that the woman has become like a Swiss knife.
Like
she's multifunctional. She has to
Maid.
do everything. And then you see the gentleman sitting on his throne as if, you know,
King
he's-
Kong.
Watching
he's not
TV.
supposed to do anything. Now, again, we were saying it outside, you know,
Yes.
we don't want to, in a sense, offend culture, because there's some traditional beliefs that says the male is to be seen in this way.
Like a superior.
Like, which I don't agree with, you know, but I understand that there's
It
culture
happens.
and there's
It's
tradition. But is it to the point of being completely helpless when, you know, heavily pregnant women are still made to work extreme hours, or when you said in a lot of the gatherings when work is supposed to be done, you find that there are more women in attendance
Yes.
than men. It's beginning to have an effect.
It's beginning to have an effect, and we also went out to get thoughts on this issue and people in Lagos, and this is what we brought back, and we'll get back into the studio. You can also still send your text messages to 08055213149 or tweet at us at OffScriptLTV. You can also tweet at LTV Social, hashtag OffScriptLTV, and at Tbrains, TWEBRAINS. We'll take this feature and we'll be back. Please stay with us.
there's no need for a child, one sex being favored over and above the other. Because both child, or both sexes, rather, children of both sexes, you discover that these days they match each other in terms of whether experience, whether skill, whether name it, whether value, or in any other forms you can think of. So I wouldn't expect any home to treat one better than the other.
This part of the world in which we are, especially in Africa, we see male as a superior species compared to the female folks. I feel that shouldn't be the same. We should treat everyone equally. And we have seen in recent times that what male gender can do, a female also do it as well. Very good. So at this present day and age, I feel both genders should be taken at equal grounds. No one should be taken higher than the other. Everyone is equal.
All human beings are created equal, and they need to be treated equally. Because today, you look at some parents, especially in this part of the world, they don't give preference to the female folk. One, they say, well, the female folk education ends in the kitchen. No. You can see the Minister of Finance today, Adeosun. She's a female. She's a female descendant because the parents gave exactly what they gave to the male folk to the lady. That is why the lady was able to grow up and pride of herself that she can do what the men can do as well. And today she's excelling. So I advise the parents that they should think twice before they give preference to the male folk alone. They should, because if they make that mistake, the male folk may be the female folk may be the breadwinner of the family.
They should be treated equally because a male and a female, they are both children, all right, given from God and on. So if the parents could give birth to them, knowing fully that they want to have a child, so they should be able to take care of the male and the female. They are both equal. They are human beings, so they are very important to them as the parents. So they should be treated equally.
They are equal. I don't see anything different between a male child and a female child. They are the same.
Either a boy or a girl. I don't see any difference in it. I think children are children and they should be treated the same way. For instance, my parents, my family, we have 4 boys and a girl. And the girl happens to be the baby of the house. So you can't expect a child like that to be doing everything. Like my mom used to say, it's not the womanhood or the manhood that is used to do these chores. So these chores should be done irrespective of whatever sex the child is. So I don't think it regards sex.
Okay, thanks for staying tuned. You're still watching Off Script on Lagos Television, and we're talking about training the boys just like the girls. A lot of respondents right there, talked about giving the children fair chores, and of course, treating them absolutely the same way. Talking about chores, at what age do you think it's appropriate, to begin to let your children, your boy child, girl child, begin to do house chores?
Well, as soon as they can talk and move.
Okay.
As soon as they start walking.
Like 3?
Not 3. I think a boy of 1 year old, 2 years old can walk. They can move around. But the only thing is that they have, there's something called age-appropriate chores. Yeah. So you should know the kind of chores. You can't ask a boy of 2 years old now to, okay, go and fetch water or go and wash the plate. But you can send them errands like get the rag, take your plates to the kitchen. Even if his hands cannot get to the wash and basin, you can just put this in the kitchen. By doing that, you are already inculcating something in him that, okay, he has to be doing these things.
But ordinarily, is there anything that a woman should do and a man should not?
Well, you know what, the thing is, right, I think the whole point of a chore isn't just about sweeping or cleaning. It's about nurturing a sense of responsibility.
Yes. That's what it boils down to.
Spatial responsibility. This is my space. This is my room. I have to keep it clean.
Take care of
it. Contributing to the house, helping the house. A friend of mine says that the house is your nation, and you've got to run it like you run a nation. And if the chores are just one way of telling them we have a responsibility, but to your question, at the same time, just like in a nation, there are roles. So you've also got to make it clear that, well, in the society we live in, the man is typically expected to do ABC.
Yeah.
So we will raise you to understand how to do ABC, but be responsible.
Yes.
And a woman is typically designed to do X, Y, Z, so that you're not incapable of operating in society.
Yes.
But at the same time, they need to be aware that societies differ from country to country, sometimes tribe to tribe. And those basic values don't change, no matter where you are.
All of this sounds very, very mild, but we have seen where it has also resulted into broken homes, broken marriages, and all of that. But what conscious effort is it redeemable, or right now we should start from scratch and begin to train the boys like we said now?
Well, I think we should just start from the scratch. That's why my focus is on boys between the ages of 0 to 13 years of age, because the men, let's just say the guys out there, they're already grown, they're already of age. So telling them these things, I could remember when I started this movement, I had a lot of let me just call it confrontations in my inbox. People sending messages to me, what do you mean, how would you say this, that? And I told them point blank, I even had to put it on my page, that please, whatever I post here, they are not for men, they are not for guys, they are for parents.
Okay.
Because we just want to go back to the basics. Most of these issues are fundamentals. They are not for people that are already grown, that okay, this is the way I've been doing things, this is the way I want to continue. So they are so these things, they are for parents and the society at large.
To begin from scratch.
Let's talk about parents. Boys learn by emulation. They see, they copy, they imbibe.
Yes.
If I tell this boy, pick this thing and take it to the kitchen, he's not going to learn as fast as if he would learn if the parent picks it and takes it to the kitchen. So how many men go for their children's open day? How many men sit with them in their homework? How many men work with their kids? How many men,
how many men help their wife in the kitchen?
Yeah, have a fun day in the kitchen. We're all working it out, cooking meal. I have 2 teenage kids, and I realized that you can tell them to do something from now to tomorrow. What they learn is what they see. So there's a huge responsibility on
parts of the parents.
Okay, you can be part of discussions on the show today by calling 0812-539-4414. 0812-539-4414 is the number to call. You can also send messages to 080-5521-3149, 080-5521-3149. Okay. We have boys only schools, maybe secondary schools. What do you think should be, well, they don't have girls in those schools. They don't have girls in those schools, but they still do their chores. Do you think that can also be a good reflect?
Yes, it can, because there's no girl to push the rest, unlike a mixed schools where they have to share. Even in mixed schools, when they share responsibility, you find out that the boys bribe the girls
to have it.
They'll be like, oh, we are in the same group, we have to take 5 naira or take this amount of money and do the sweeping or do the picking around while the boys just go around. So those boys, I want to believe that by the time they graduate from such schools, they'll be more responsible compared to boys who attended a mixed school, because they are in a kind of a different setup where they have to do these things.
It will be a must by then.
Face to face with this chores, so they have to do them.
Yeah, that's interesting, because I was just thinking, I finished from an all-boys secondary school in Calabar, and I'm just thinking about, the very high level of discipline and responsibility, the chores, the work days. I don't know how much that influences this discussion, but it's important to realize that children are also raised in other environments. Depending on your religion, your religious environment, could be your school. And I think that all boys environment was, I'm just beginning to realize it's probably a factor now. What happens in schools these days, and how much work are they doing in the schools? We want to give our kids great education. We want to send them to private schools, etc., etc. And we find out that they don't do anything. There's no responsibility. No chores they're given. And it's affecting even their admission. Some young kids were turned back abroad because they couldn't make a bed. But they finished secondary school, they want to go to university, and they couldn't make a bed.
Whoa. This one says mothers should stop telling their daughters that they are the home builders. They should tell them to work hand in hand with their husbands to build their homes.
True that. The men too, the parents should start telling the boys. too, you are going to marry, you are going to be somebody's husband. So you too, you should start working
On being a husband material.
being a good husband material, not just the daughter.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, it's almost the same thing. Stop teaching your daughters it's her job to fix a man who will fix her when she's busy fixing another. Well,
I see the points we're making.
Okay.
But I also want us to be clear about this, right? Society has always had roles for men
Men and women, yes.
and these days, that seems to be becoming a bit more jaded and blurred now because anyone can be anything. And I'm good with
everything is
it.
changing. The world is
I'm
changing.
good. The world is changing now. I mean, how many we've been hearing in the news of recent this wage disparity
Yeah.
between males and females who do the
Yes.
same job.
Yes.
So there is a confusion now about role play. Who is to do what? I think what we're talking about here is basic training
Yes.
that kids should have. There
Yes.
should be respect. You should greet your elders. Some of these little things, in quotes, no longer exist. And it's something that parents have to imbibe. It is their responsibility to do so because kids will just grow up and they will not even know there's anything wrong. And like you said, it leads to there's trouble in marriages now. We're talking about
a lot
that.
of divorce.
There's a high divorce rate. There's a high cheating rate. There's
Domestic violence
there's
too.
domestic violence. There's rape. There's lack of respect for the female being,
yes.
or vice versa. And it starts from what you believe is right and acceptable.
And it's brought up.
And it's not just a function of the schools. The parents should start from scratch in their own homes.
Training it begins from home. That's the first contact of every child. So they should start, the parents, and these parents you're talking about, we're not saying mothers, because that is what is obtainable in most homes. And the fathers, they've just left the bringing up of a child, they've left it for the mothers only. This training has to involve both parents. They have to be involved in this.
Okay, let me see if we can take this. Hello? 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 Okay, you can still call back at 0812-539-4414, 0812-539-4414, but you need to send messages to the 55213149, 080-552-13149. Maybe we'll be able to take one or two calls before we round off the program today. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah. Hello, good evening. Good evening, you're on to the show. Hello? Okay, the number to call is 0812-539-4414 and send messages to 080-5521-3149, 080-5521-3149, or tweet at us at OffScriptLTV, OffScriptLTV, or at LTV Social, hashtag OffScriptLTV, or at Tbrains, TEEBRAINS. For you, what would you say to young parents?
I would say to both parents, work together as a unit.
Okay.
Try and break that stereotype where, like I've mentioned before, some people only want to deal with the organ of the house. There's no respect for the female. You know, there has to be, you have to start working together as a unit. Your kids, if you have kids, have to be able to see that you agree as a unit. If there are disagreements, settle them in the closet. But let there be a united voice. And as much as possible, get involved deliberately in raising the kids. Whether they be male or female, teach them values. Copy those, let them see that those values work in you. Kids are very smart. You know, a lot of them know what you're saying that they should do is right.
And they see more than what they're saying.
And they see more than what they're saying, but they're like, well, if daddy does it, you know, if I've been working all day and I come back home and I want to relax in front of the television, and they come and see that, in their minds, they don't see all the work you did all day. They just see all the time you spend in front of the TV.
And with the newspapers. Or
So
maybe phones these days.
Yes,
with phones. And you've got to be a bit conscious that they're watching, so just put that balance, say, look, this is what happened at work today. Unconsciously, they know you worked that day, and ask them what they did in school, for instance. So it's a lot of things.
Okay, before I take your take on that, I have this text message. Parents should be conscious of the training they give their children, irrespective of gender. Both child should be trained on domestic chores. Child first for better tomorrow. Okay, well, absolutely.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, for a better tomorrow, how about a better now? Is the situation irredeemable?
Well, I think the parents and the grown-up guys, there are some one or two lessons that they can pick from this training, where you see that, okay, I'm lacking here. Okay, let's talk about emotional intelligence. Okay, I'm lacking in this part. You can learn. You can learn and start. Okay, let me just learn. It's not too late to learn. Even though we are saying train the boys is not for grown-up men, it's not for guys, but it is not too late for anyone to learn. Even as a parent already, you can learn for the sake of your kids that, okay, I want to learn this thing, to do this thing, so that I can transfer this knowledge to the kids.
Okay, I'm sorry I had to laugh about this. Somebody sent in this message. Well, it's not, maybe it's part of it, okay. Government should please remove party graduations, dressing anyhow, cheating from schools. Teachers should just book and the Bible from the beginning, and the end. It says, train your child, boy or girl, train them equally, because only God knows tomorrow. Is that part of the training, the graduation? Because I know that they say from each level you have graduation, parties into the next level.
Yeah, but she mentioned it earlier. Training is always in stages. You never stop learning. You teach young people, they learn. At some point, they have to learn to be responsible. They leave home at 18 or 21 or 22, whatever it is. They enter another level of training. Then they eventually become parents themselves, and they enter another level of training. And we know that there's a focus right now on our schools and institutions and what happens there, the kind of interrelations going on now. And it stems right back to what we've been talking about before. How have we raised our nation from our families?
Family. Because that's the unit that becomes the larger.
You come back, where is he? Where's my son? Where's my daughter? What are they doing? Let's come together. I mean, families need to spend time. We have family meetings. Every once in a while, we sit down and say, what are we doing?
Okay, let's see if you can take this call. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Hello, are you there? You're connected? Hello? Okay, you can call back. It's 080-552-13149. 080-552-13149 is the number to call. You can also send your message to the same number. Hello? 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 Okay. This one says girls should not be treated as doormats. They should be treated with respect. The boys should be taught how to cook and clean so they won't give much headache to their wives. About the cooking, there's a story with that. Hello, good evening. Hello? Hello? Hello, good evening. You're connected. Okay, once you're connected, you need to reduce the volume of your TV set and let us pick your call, okay? Okay. All right, about the cooking. Some can't even make noodles.
Noodles or make tea.
Eba.
See, I'm telling you, the milk will start floating. Like this, they don't even understand that there's a process to make. There are some kind of milk that you don't just pour into water. They don't understand.
Hello, good evening. Hello? Yes, hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello? Yes, you're on. Please go ahead. Oh, okay, we lost that call. Yes.
Okay. You want to say something?
No, I was just saying that, you were saying that sometimes they don't even know how to make a cup of tea. And I mean, it's unfortunate again that we look at things this way. We need to take a step back and assess how well we're doing in the home. How well are we doing? How not just about academic success now.
Okay.
How able are they to function in society?
Society is made up of families.
Families.
Yeah, there's this impression that once you're rich, you don't have to worry. Somebody will do it for you.
You have to pay for it. You can pay for it,
and
it's
there's now
okay.
a drive to get money. And once they don't have that money, they're in trouble because they were never taught to
Yes,
to
do
manage their
those
situation.
things.
And do those
Okay,
things.
we take this last text message. Parents should be their children's role models. You can't give what you don't have. A home without the basic structure will certainly raise social misfits, and that's what we just discussed right now. Well, that's the much we can take on the program today. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us, and I hope that with this conversation, a lot of homes will be fixed, a lot of children will be fixed, boys will be raised properly alongside their female, their sisters, so that in the end, we'll have a better society devoid of social misfits, devoid of divorces, devoid of domestic violence, rapes, and all of that. And it has to be a conscious effort on the part of parents and, of course, everyone in the society. Thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you. Thank you. All right, that's it. Thank you for being a part of it. Next week, we'll be here bright early, 6:15. Stay tuned, and you can also continue with the conversation online at Offscript LTV on Twitter, Instagram, and of course Facebook. And of course, you can still send your text messages in. We'll take it next week during the feedback segment. Thank you. I am Adetola Kayode. Have a pleasant Saturday and Sunday.